shapeshifter of transformation. Minutes, days, years. Transient yet true. Moments held together, milestones marked by the miraculous and the mundane. Snapshots in time, solidifying the character of our God. Thus far, He has provided. He's multiplied. He's been faithful. Thus far, the Lord has helped us.
It's looking backwards that strengthens us to move forward. I think sometimes the idea of a struggle has such a negative connotation. Many times we think if we're struggling that we're doing something bad. But I see it differently. I think that when you're struggling, it's a reminder that you haven't given up, that you're still in the fight. And ever since we started VOUS Church, yeah, God has been faithful and He's shown up, but there's been challenges, there's been obstacles, there's been struggles. But in that struggle came some of our greatest miracles.
When we look back on our life, I don't think it'll be the monumental moments that stand out to us. I think it'll be the subtle steps of obedience. Just day after day, trusting Jesus, that just proves God's faithfulness in the story that He wants to tell in our personal lives, in our community, and throughout our city and our world. God is always at work.
2018, I got diagnosed with lupus nephritis and chronic kidney disease.
I found myself just lost and heartbroken. My life just really didn't have a purpose.
Having been a pastor for 13 years, and towards the end of that, life threw some punches at us.
Shortly after my kidney transplant, my father had a heart attack, basically right in front of me.
My wife was diagnosed with cancer for the second time in 2 years, and my sister diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
As I held him up, I saw the pain in his body, but there was no fear in his eyes from dying. Kind of looking around the room, my mom's paralyzed, she's not moving very much. My brother's like on the ground crying. I look at him and it's just like the exact opposite of like the stress that I'm feeling. He's just completely at peace. And right then and there, I decided that I needed to have that same confidence of where I was gonna spend eternity when my number was called.
Adoption had always been something that was on my heart. I walked into Vision Sunday 2019, and all of a sudden there's this huge screen in front of me that's saying, hey, we're having an interest meeting for VOUS foster care. The friendships, the community I made during our licensing classes.
I found myself at VOUS, and that was actually my first time in church as an adult. And one of the things I remember the most, hearing people on stage saying, I met my best friends at Crew, and I just never thought that that would really happen for me.
After about 1.5 years, my sister did pass away. My wife lived, thank God, actually received somewhat of a miraculous healing. That was the start of a new season for our life. And in 2019, my son discovered VOUS.
I received a phone call from someone I had gone through in the licensing classes, and she said, we have a little girl and she's looking for a pre-adoptive home. And I welcomed my first daughter as a foster child in January 2021.
Oddly enough, a month after my father's heart attack, I found myself in Miami for work. Visited VOUS while I was here, sat next to a random stranger who asked me if I was a part of a crew, joined the online crew that she invited me to, met a bunch of really great folks.
Finding VOUS was actually one of the first places that my family and I came that we felt totally comfortable, we felt totally at home. That's been really neat to find my tribe, my community.
All of a sudden I began making friends, just really feeling like VOUS was not just a place that I went on Sunday, that it was actually my home. These were actually my friends. These were my family.
Fast forward now to the fall of 2022. I'm the mother of 2 beautiful girls. They are out of foster care. They are thriving and incredible gifts from God.
VOUS is primarily the reason that I decided to make Miami my home.
We love what we hear and what we see lived out. Jesus is our message and people are our heart. We love that because that's who we are. Jesus is our message and people are our heart. God is doing something new in the city of Miami, and I think globally, because VOUS is touching the world globally, and I'm excited to be a part of what God is doing.
VOUS has always been family to me. From the launch to current day, VOUS where I met my children. And I just want to say thank you, VOUS. Thank you for putting that stake in the ground.
I don't want to just get lit, I want to be a light. And let me just tell you, when you put Jesus first and you carry his light, it doesn't matter the obstacle, it doesn't matter the challenge, it doesn't matter the circumstance. Nothing will stop you from shining bright for Jesus.
He's transforming legacies in our midst. And it's not just one moment that you can mark, but rather it's just trusting God faithfully, day after day, week after week, showing up to serve, showing up to give, showing up to participate.
This is noble work. This is worthy work. This is what I want to give my gifts towards. It's the Church of Jesus. This one happens to be called VOUS. Thus far, the Lord has helped us. And I don't know about you, but I find great comfort in those words. Because that's the story of VOUS Church. For 7 years, the Lord has met every one of our needs. And it's that confidence of what he's done in the past that gives me hope and gives me courage to step into the future. God's not done. Our best days are still in front of us.
Then Samuel took a stone and set it up between Mizpah and Shen. He named it Ebenezer, the stone of help, saying, "Thus far the Lord has helped us." A stone laid down to build a holy temple, a stone laid down in surrender, a stone laid down to remember.